Hello and welcome to today's video. Thank you so much for clicking on the video. I am so excited for today because we are doing another reading challenge. I am addicted apparently. So this time we're going to be doing for Monday to Friday. Today is Monday. We're going to let a random number generator choose how many hours that I read for the day. I'm going to do it so that I have to at least read that many, but I can read more if I would like to. And I'm doing from numbers 1 to 8. Which I work Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday this week. Also Saturday, but we're just doing Monday to Friday. So I work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and it's gonna be 1 to 8 hours. So if I do get 8 hours on one of those days, that's gonna be insane. But I feel like it would be no fun to do less hours than that. I feel like it's boring if we do like 1 to 4 hours. So we're gonna do 1 to 8. It is Monday. This morning, you saw the clips of me reading previously. This morning, I did the number generator. I will put it up here. I got 1 hour. This morning I read 30 minutes, so I have 30 minutes left to read today. Honestly, I was hoping for a little bit of a larger number because I do have the day off work today. I feel like what's gonna happen is on the days that I do work, I'm gonna have to read the most amount of hours. We will see how that goes. I'll have to read before work, after work. I don't have the type of job where I can read during work, but we will make it work. So today I have 30 minutes left on my timer, and I am reading My Friends by Frederick Bachman, continuing it from my last video, and I'm still really enjoying it. I'm on page 80 and we're still very much in the beginning of the story, but it is very heartwarming so far, and the way that it's written just feels so extremely nostalgic for some reason. So I'm excited to read more today, and then we will see how many hours I get for tomorrow, hoping for a larger number for tomorrow so that the odds are on the days that I work, it will be small, but we'll see. Fingers crossed. I'm so excited to read with you guys this week. I will check back in with you very soon. Here I am again talking about the nostalgic feeling, but the way that the author is writing things, like he's explaining things in my memory. This sentence, "The room was cold and smelled of damp, but for 12-year-olds, having a space of their own is the height of luxury. A staircase dividing them from the adult world is like a moat around a castle." It reminds me so much of when you'd go to kids' houses and they lived on a different floor as their parents. It just seemed like they lived on their own. It was so crazy and independent, and I almost forgot about that. So I love that this writing is like bringing things up from my memory. Hello, good morning. It is now Tuesday. It is 9:44, so a late morning start for me. But I am sitting here drinking my coffee, having breakfast, and going to be doing the Wordle. So I thought it'd be the best time ever to check how many hours we're reading today, especially so that I can start getting it over with if I get 8 hours. Getting over with. That's just so negative of me. Let's see. Like I said, today I do not work, so I'd be okay with a higher number. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I prefer like a 1 to 3 hours, but we'll see. I'm gonna do it now. I'm just changing it to lowest 1, highest 8. I did this myself. I'm choosing to play this game that we're playing. So 7 hours I will be reading today. I'm gonna be finishing My Friends by Frederick Bachman. This is now just a reading day. Okay, I better get to work. I will talk to you guys soon. Little update. I feel like I'm always updating while I'm having my coffee, but I ended up having way more to do today than I was expecting, like a lot. And it is 4 p.m. and I have only read 2 hours, so I have 5 hours left. It's 4 p.m. and I also volunteered tonight, so I have a volunteering shift at 7:30. So we'll see how this goes. It kind of feels like I'm running out of time. A little bit of a time crunch, but I'm not giving up. I'm gonna power through. I'm gonna do it no matter what it takes because we've committed. So 5 hours. 5 hours left. I'm gonna be up late at night reading. I'm on page 187 of My Friends. I'm still really enjoying it. I'm finding it funny because I've never read a book by Frederick Bachman before, but I've heard that A Man Called Ove and a couple others have like this grumpy older man who's kind of lost like the love for life, and that's definitely the character in this book as well. I'm excited to read the other ones and see how similar it is, but I guess Frederick Bachman really enjoys writing that character, and it's really like heartwarming, like really charming, seeing the dynamic between the teenager and the older man. But I'm enjoying it so far. 5 hours. I will update hopefully when I finish the 5 hours. I'm gonna do it. Mark my word. Update time. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was a little bit touch and go there last night at the end of the 7 hours, but I did in fact complete 7 hours of reading yesterday. So today is Wednesday. It is the 3rd day of the challenge, and I was praying, okay? I was really wanting a low number today. I am all read it out. I am all read out. I'm done with reading, okay? That's what I'm trying to say. My eyes hurt. I'm tired. I worked today. I was really hoping for a low number, and as you saw, I got one. It's still like a good chunk of reading, and I'll get a lot done, but it is so much better than getting the 8 hours today. I was trying to figure out how in the world I was gonna read before or after work for 8 hours. So we have 4, which is incredible. And last night I got to 50 pages left of this book, and then this morning I finished it. I have 3 hours left on the clock for today, but I'm all finished My Friends. I think I have landed on a rating for it. I really enjoyed it. I honestly got emotional by the end. It didn't really have an attachment to me during the first half of it, but then all of a sudden I'm tearing up. So I guess it actually did latch onto me by the end of it. So I don't want to say too much about what this book is about, just because I didn't know too much going into it, and I think that really helped the story. But it follows our main character, Louisa, who she's had a really difficult upbringing. Her friend Fish just died. You hear that in the very beginning. And she is just going through a really rough time. And while she was growing up, something that she really obsessed over that brought her a lot of comfort was this painting from this artist. It's of this beach and this pier, and there are 3 kids sitting on the end of the pier, and she just had such an attachment to this painting and these kids, and she wanted to know them as she was growing up. And as the story goes on, she gets to uncover more of the mystery of these kids. She gets to know about the famous painter as well. And like I said, a lot of the dynamic was between an older man and this teenager, kind of like a father-daughter relationship that they were building, and it was really sweet and heartwarming. He was just so grumpy. All the men in this book were actually just super grumpy, but you can see like the kindness and the happiness shine through them. They just don't really like to show it. So I really enjoyed it. I think I would give it a 4 stars as my final rating. It's my first Frederick Bachman book. I've heard that it's not people's favorite out of his, so I'm excited to read the other ones as well. But overall, I really enjoyed it. And if you read it, I would say my favorite points of this book, very random and specific, but the main character Ted, when they showed a couple times his relationship with his brother as they were getting older, and all of those moments of them in their house and having these conversations, those ended up being like one of my favorite parts of the book. It felt so real. I felt it so deeply, and I really enjoyed those scenes. And then another thing that I found really unique about this book is for about the first half of it, it was all told on the same train ride. So they were on the train the whole entire time just talking. So I found that was a very unique way of telling the story as well. Overall, 4 stars, really enjoyed it. And now it is time to pick our next book that I will read for another 3 hours today. I'm not too sure yet what I'm gonna pick. I don't know if I'm gonna pick off of my summer TBR or not, but I'm excited. I'm kind of feeling a lighter read today, probably just because I know that we might be reading the book tomorrow for like 8 hours, so I don't want to pick anything too crazy, but we'll see. Hello, it is Wednesday now. It's not, it's Thursday. Jeez. It is Thursday. It is the 4th day of this challenge, and I am no longer a daughter. I'm no longer a sister. I'm no longer an employee. I'm no longer a girlfriend. I am no longer a friend, okay? I only have time for reading. I'm a reader. That is my identity since starting this challenge, because I got 6 hours this morning while also having to work. I just got home from work. It is 10 p.m. That's why it's so dark and the lighting is terrible. But I read 3 hours before work, 3 hours I still have left to read after work. So I'll be up to like 1 if I read 3 hours straight, but probably it's gonna be later than that because I often take breaks and have to pause the timer. Even though I've been reading so much, when I was at work, I wanted to come home to read this. That is insane. I read all morning. I read 3 hours in the morning, and I wanted to come home and read this because I'm almost done. I have 20 pages left, and it is so freaking good. I was not expecting it to be so good. I have no idea why my expectations were so low, because I have enjoyed other books by Taylor Jenkins Reid, but I was not expecting to love this so much. It is reading so much like a movie. Like, I'm just so enthralled in every tennis match that is going on, and I just need to know what is happening. When I was at work thinking about it, it almost felt like I was thinking about tennis matches that I'm gonna go home and watch. Like, these people are real and they're actually competing and it actually means something. That's what it felt like. The book is about Carrie, who is a champion tennis player who has retired, but she comes out of retirement in order to defend her title. She's 38 now, and usually people that are 38 do not play tennis anymore, so people are really rooting against her, thinking that she's not going to be able to defend her title. And her dad is also coaching her tennis. He used to coach her when she was younger, and he's kind of the reason that she got to where she is, because he instilled in her that she's gonna be the best tennis player ever. And he coaches her again later on as she makes her comeback, and it is so good. Like, the relationship between Carrie and her father is so good. And also, nobody warned me, nobody told me that it is so extremely sad. I was not prepared for it, and I feel so emotionally attached to this book, and it is so utterly sad. So just a warning, it actually is sad. It doesn't look like it's going to be, but it is. Another thing is the romance in this. It's kind of a little bit of a side plot, and I think that's when I end up enjoying romances a lot more, is when they're not the whole point of the story. They feel just so much more natural and real for the characters, and I really love the romantic interest in this book. They are just so good together. You don't even see them together that often, but it is just so good. Like, it's perfect. So I'm gonna go finish this now. I have 20 pages left, and then I'm not sure what I'm gonna start. I think I'm gonna start, I will probably start the bombshell. I feel like I have to. I keep saying I'm gonna read the bombshell next, and then I don't. Something about it is intimidating me. I don't know why. I haven't heard any reviews on it yet, but it sounds really good, so we will see. Seriously, sorry about this lighting. It's actually horrid. Good morning and welcome to the final day of this challenge. It is Friday morning and we are going to pick how much I'm going to be reading today for the last time of this week. Last night, I'm not going to lie to you, it got a little bit tough. Okay, I was getting so tired. I finished Carrie Said It Was Back. That was the first thing that I did in those 3 hours, and I did end up really enjoying it. I was feeling basically the same as I was last night about it. I think I'm gonna go with a 4.5 stars for this book, which is so crazy to me. That's way higher than I was expecting. I was thinking maybe like a 3.5, possibly 4, but 4.5 for Carrie Soto is Back. So that was a success. And then this is where we started to go a little bit downhill. I started the bombshell. This is just like the cover. I started the bombshell. I got to page 14, so I like barely started the bombshell, and I was at the point of my fatigue that I was having to reread paragraphs after reading them, and I was like, okay, we cannot be doing this. We still have like 2 hours left. So I put this one down at 15 pages. I'm definitely gonna go back to it today. It was just because I was so tired, but I put that one down, and then I wanted to pick up something lighter, which I don't even really have. So I grabbed my Kindle to try to find something on Kindle Unlimited, and I ended up going with Thrive, which is I think it's like the 5th or 6th book in the Addicted and Calloway Sisters series, which I've not picked up for like a year. And as I was reading it, I ended up getting to page 64, but when I was at page 50, I was like, shit, I think I've read this before. Like, I think I'm rereading a book right now. And I started looking up all of my reading logs to try to figure out where I am in the series and what book I'm supposed to be reading next. And it turns out that I have not read this book, but it just follows the same timeline as one of the ones that I have read, which is not my favorite. I understand in theory why people want to read a scene from someone else's perspective, but I don't really like reading a whole entire book where I've already seen these scenes before. It just feels like too much deja vu, and I get a little bit too bored. I will continue it, definitely on a time where I want to read, but I'm exhausted. I feel like it's perfect for that, just like super easy. I also really enjoy the characters, so that was fine. It was keeping my eyes open, and I did complete the 3 hours. But today I'll probably go back to The Bombshell and see how that goes. I'm nervous. We're gonna pick the last day. I'm looking at the wheel. It's like taunting me. Ah! Fuck. So, we're gonna be reading. We are gonna be reading for the whole entire day. I have a feeling I'm gonna read The Bombshell, but then also have to pick up Thrive when my brain starts to go too much. I also have a feeling that this weekend I will not be picking up a book. But today we are again taking on only one of my identities, the reader. So I will see you soon. Wow. Unfortunately, I didn't complete my hours on Friday. I know what you're saying. Shayla, you said that you would complete every single hour. You said you would not fail. It's a spoiler alert that you would never fail. But that is okay, I think, because we still read so many incredible books this week, and Monday to Thursday has to count for something, right? I hope so. And I definitely want to try this challenge again, as well as other reading challenges. I find it so fun just to give yourself a little bit more of a boost and motivation to get some books off of your shelf and enjoy some new books. So we can quickly recap. We first finished My Friends, and I rated it a 4 stars. Then, surprisingly, finished Carrie Soto Is Back and rated it a whopping 4.5 stars. That is incredible. And read a little bit of Thrive. Not gonna say too much about it. Then also started The Bombshell, which has been incredible so far, but I cannot put a rating on it yet. But let's just say I am loving it, and I really love our main character. She's just so unapologetically herself and hilarious, in my opinion. She's just so honest with what she wants and what she thinks she deserves, and I think that makes her quite hilarious at times and kind of relatable in a way. But overall, we read some really good books, and I had so much fun filming this video, so I cannot wait to make more reading vlogs and reading challenges, and hopefully I will not fail next time. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I cannot wait to see you in my next one very soon. Bye!